Hello everyone, welcome to ENbreezEN, the daily current affairs program by Team Enlight. In this session, we are going to discuss three topics which were in today's newspapers. The first topic is current account deficit. We will be looking over this topic in a prelims point of view. Okay. The second topic for today is Vectorborne Diseases and National Vectorborne Disease Control Program. This can be studied both in a prelims and mains angle. Okay. Now, the third topic is Digitization of Agriculture. This is a mains topic, but through this we can learn certain schemes and initiatives by the government towards this end. Okay. So, that is our third and the last topic for today. Now, so without further ado, let's quickly jump into our topics. The first topic is the current account deficit. Okay. This was in news because RBI pointed out that India's current account deficit has widened in the January-March quarter as the imports have revived. So, it also says that the current account deficit stands at 8.1 billion in this quarter compared to the 0.6 billion surplus in the same quarter last year. And it also says there is a net external commercial borrowings has fallen, and similarly the portfolio investments in the form of equity purchases have risen as well. Okay, so from a prelims point of view, you should know what are the basic concepts associated with current account deficit. So what is a current account deficit? It is a country's foreign transactions and measures the flow of goods, services and investment into and out of the country. Alright. So, it is one component of the balance of payment, the other being the capital account. So, the current account, we can say it includes net visibles and net invisibles. So, net visibles is nothing but trade in goods, and net invisibles is trade in services, of which net transfer is a part. Alright. Now, the second component, as I already mentioned, is a capital account. Right. The capital account, it deals with the capital transactions, that is those transactions which create assets or liabilities. It includes FDI, foreign direct investments, foreign portfolio investments and the external commercial borrowings, etc. So, we say that there is a deficit in the current account if the value of the goods and services imported exceeds the value of those exported. Okay. So, it is measured as a percentage of GDP. Remember, it is measured as a percentage of GDP. So, we can say that it is the export minus import plus net income from abroad plus net transfers. So, here remember that export minus import is nothing but the trade deficit. So, CAD can be written as trade deficit plus net income from abroad plus net transfers. Okay. Now, coming to the concept of twin deficit. The current account deficit and the fiscal deficit, also known as the budget deficit. So, what is a budget deficit? It is a situation when a nation's expenditure exceeds its revenue, right? So, current account deficit along with the fiscal deficit are together known as twin deficits. Remember that these often reinforce each other. That is, if there is a high fiscal deficit, it might lead to higher CAD and vice versa. Okay. So, please go through these topics because questions were asked in 2017 prelims and prior to that as well, if not directly but as part of main questions regarding the fluctuation of CAD and its effect on economy. So, please be thorough with the basic concept of balance of payment, CAD, twin deficit, etc. I hope it is clear. So, let us quickly move on to our second topic, that is the vectorborne diseases and the National Vectorborne Disease Control Program. Okay. This was in news because WHO has recently declared China malaria free after nearly 7 decades of its efforts. So, it seems it is the first country in the WHO Western Pacific region to be awarded a malaria free certification in more than 3 decades. So, why is this news important for us? Because from a prelims perspective, we should know what are vectorborne diseases, what are the major vectorborne diseases and its causative agents. So, vectorborne diseases are nothing but illnesses caused by vectors such as mosquitoes, ticks, fleas, okay, which carries the causative microbes like parasites, viruses, bacteria, etc. So, remember that the burden of these diseases is highest in the tropical and subtropical areas. So, which are the major diseases? Which are the major vectorborne diseases? It includes chikungunya, Zika fever, dengue, yellow fever, etc. All these are caused by viruses. Okay, all these are caused by viruses and these are spread by Aedes aegypti mosquito. Leishmaniasis or Kala Asar as we call it, malaria and filariasis are caused by parasites and these are spread by several agents like Leishmaniasis or Kala Asar is spread by sandflies, malaria is spread by Anopheles mosquitoes and filariasis is spread by Culex or Anopheles mosquitoes. Okay. Now coming to National Vectorborne Disease Control Program. What is it? It is a program launched in 2003-4 time, and it is an umbrella scheme for prevention and control of 6 vector-borne diseases, that is malaria, dengue, lymphatic filariasis, Kala ulcer or visceral leishmaniasis, Japanese encephalitis and chikungunya. Okay. The Directorate of National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program is a nodal agency. Okay, it's a central nodal agency, remember that, and it works under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Okay. So, as I already mentioned, it subsumes 6 major programs, that is the National Anti-Malaria Control Program, National Filaria Control Program, Kala ulcer Control Programs, Japanese bee encephalitis, dengue and chikungunya. Okay. There are other initiatives as well in this field, like the National Strategic Plan for Malaria Elimination. It has been developed based on the National Framework for Malaria Elimination, okay, in line with World Health Organization's Global Technical Strategy for Malaria Elimination by 2030. Other initiatives are like those efforts of World Mosquito Program, that is the use of mosquitoes infected with Wolbachia bacteria. Okay, why is this used? Because it successfully controls the spread of dengue. So, in a similar fashion, the ICMR, Indian Council of Medical Research, is also developing a strain of Aedes aegypti containing Wolbachia known as the Puducherry strain. Okay. The Puducherry strain. Now, there are other campaigns as well, like the Jan Jagruta Abhiyan etc. aimed towards sensitizing and mobilizing the community for prevention and control of vector-borne diseases. Now coming to the mains perspective, here you should know what are the general strategy and the prevention control for vector-borne diseases. So, go through what are the strategies or prevention methods that can be used for controlling vector-borne diseases, like integrated vector management practices like residual spraying, like the indoor residual spraying, use of anti-larval measures like biolarvicides, larvivorous fishes etc. Okay. Others can be like disease management mechanisms, supportive interventions, okay, vaccination against Japanese encephalitis, and there are several other methods as well. So, please go through the prevention and control strategies for the mains perspective, and similarly go through the risk and challenges associated with. So, what are the challenges India faces in controlling vector-borne diseases? It can be the drug resistance, okay, due to the genetic modifications and the acquired resistance towards drugs. So, drug resistance is one major issue. There is lack of expertise in the field of vector control. There is inadequate infrastructure, okay, when it comes to hospitals and the R&D mechanisms. So, sanitation and access to potable water, all these are challenges faced by India in controlling vector-borne diseases. So, from a mains perspective, please go through these topics, okay. Now coming to the third topic, it is a digitization of agriculture. Why was this in news? This was in news because recently the farmer organization and the digital rights advocates have raised concerns over Centre's proposal of digitizing agriculture. They say it causes problems like the exploitation of farmers, then it may lead to data protection and consent issues, or kind of mismanaged land records, exclusion of landless cultivators, and the corporatization of agriculture etc. So, these are the concerns that are raised by these organizations of farmers and digital rights advocates. So, from a prelims point of view, we should know what is digitization of agriculture and the major initiatives in this regard. So, what is digitization of agriculture? It is nothing but the application of new technologies like AI, that is artificial intelligence, big data analytics, blockchain technology, Internet of Things etc. to farming and farm practices, right? Hope that it will help in doubling the farmer's income in real terms by the year 2022. So, now coming to what are the major initiatives in this regard. So, we can say there is Kisan Suvidha mobile application, there is Pusa Krishi mobile app, there is M-Kisan portal etc. What are all these aimed at? These are the these facilitates dissemination of information to farmers in critical parameters like advices on crop related matters through SMS, information regarding market prices, regarding plant protection, regarding seeds, pesticides, fertilizers, machinery, weather etc. So, all these kind of informations are being disseminated to the farmers via these apps. The other initiative is the National Agricultural Market. It is an initiative to provide farmers an electronic online trading platform, right? The other initiatives are like the soil health cards. It provides information to the farmers on nutrient status of their soil, right? Moreover, it also tells them the appropriate dosage of nutrients to be applied for improving crop productivity and soil fertility. Other initiatives are like the Agri Market app. Okay, it is a mobile application which is developed with an aim to keep farmers, to keep the farmers abreast with the crop prices and discourage them to carry out distress sale. Okay, there are other mobile applications like the Meghdud app. Okay, the Meghdud app, as the name itself suggests, it gives information relating to the weather, humidity, rainfall, wind speed, etc. Moreover, it also gives information regarding the crops and livestock rearing. So there are immense number of technological interventions in this field. The other include the AgroPad. AgroPad is nothing but an AI powered technology. It helps the farmers to check the soil and water health. We also know that we can make use of several satellite technologies, right? For space technologies can be used for forecasting agricultural output, for drought assessment and monitoring, for rice fallow area mapping, for rice intensification mechanisms, for geotagging of infrastructure and assets created under the Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana, for crop insurances, the usage of drones in the Fasal Bima Yojana, it. So there are a large number of initiatives. Similarly, there is Digital Green, there is eSagu. There are a lot of initiatives. Okay. Now coming to the mains perspective, for this topic, you should know what are the benefits of digitization. Okay, you should know what are the benefits as well as the challenges associated with digitization of agriculture. So I hope whatever we have discussed is clear to everyone. Please go through the topics in detail. Okay, I hope to see you all in the coming sessions as well. Thank you and have a great day.